Hey, in this video, we're going to share why just doing positive thinking probably isn't helping your game. And more times than not, it's probably even hurting your game. And if you're sitting here doing statements like, I am positive, I am positive, I am positive, yeah, it's probably not serving your game. And the main reason why it's not serving your game is because you're doing it wrong. And if you want to find the right strategy that can actually change your game, you definitely want to stick around for this. We're going to show you what you're doing wrong and how, more importantly, if you apply this, it's going to change your game big time. Hey, we're Bo and Shannon. We're the co-founders of School of Lifetime Rounds and In the Zone Mental Academy. Hey guys, look, we're on a mission to help 100,000 golfers to shoot their new lifetime rounds, and we are serious about doing that over the next 5 years. And look, the reason why is because we know there are many golfers out there that are struggling, and some are even on the verge of quitting the game, and we do not want you to be one of them. Which is why make sure you subscribe, like this video, comment below, and join us on this journey so we can give you the best strategy that we know that's going to help you shoot your new lifetime round. All right, with that said, let's dive in.
So guys, we're going to talk about personal self-talk or positive self-talk, depending on what you call it. I like to refer to it as power talk. The reason why is because I'm going to show you some studies that's backing up the reason why I call it power talk, because it can directly affect your body. For example, there's been a lot of case studies that has been done where the body and mind has been monitored by biofeedback equipment. Words and thoughts spoken at random can have an effect on the body functions for with different words that are being used. For example, it can raise and lower body temperature. It can secrete hormones. It can relax muscles and nerve endings. It can actually dilate or restrict arteries. It can raise or lower your pulse rate. It creates more brain waves. Your skin temperature, for example, can be affected. Muscle tension can get involved. So this is the reason why I like to call it power talk. And so today it's kind of like I'm going to be your power talk architect and show you, and we're going to build this beautiful house on power talk and show you and give you some guidelines on how to do it. So here's the thing. Negative speaking works. We know it. There's been studies that's been done by the Mayo Clinic and Cleveland Clinic, for example, that says that when you speak positive, there's a 10% more likely of a chance that it's going to have a powerful effect on your body or your life. And it's sometimes it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy when you speak positive for yourself, for example. However, they have found when they did this study with the Mayo Clinic and the Cleveland Clinic that it's 4 to 7 times stronger when you speak negative words that come out. So what does that mean? That means that it's 40 times and 70 times more powerful to have an effect on you than a positive statement, for example. And so that is why it's important that we actually, what words that come out of our mouth, whether it be negative or positive, how we control that. So it's obvious that we need to control the language that we use on ourselves. Okay. And so today what I'm going to do is it's like I'm going to give you an alphabet, so to speak, of power talk, and we're going to build a language and guidelines that can help propel your golf game. And so with that being said, we're going to move on to point number one. When you go out on the golf course and you're speaking that positivity and you're doing it all of a sudden, so to speak, and trying to keep that positive mindset, that positive frame of mind, then it's actually too late. You got to get the mental reps in. Okay. Your brain is like a brain account. Okay. You got to have deposits in your brain account so that you can have withdrawals when you get out on the course. You're making those withdrawals from that brain account. So when you're going out onto the course and you have not made any deposits away from the course, so to speak, and then you're trying to make that withdrawal, guess what? It's empty. You're not getting a benefit from it. That is why you got to get the mental reps, like going into the gym and working out, to get that fitness level up, so to speak, with your brain. So you got to make those deposits on a regular basis away from the course. So then when you come in, what happens is it's not that thought process. You're not all of a sudden trying to make a withdrawal because you don't have anything in your account. Now you've got that withdrawal that you can make. Here's an example. So the other day I was riding bikes with my girlfriend, and some of you may know I've mentioned this before, but I actually race bikes. I do criterium racing and stuff, so on a competitive level. And so we were out riding, and I noticed that it was really hard for me to it seemed like I was putting out a lot more effort and not going as fast as I was wanting to go. I was looking at my power output, my watts. I was like, man, I'm really putting out a lot of watts, and I felt tired. I said, something's not right. And so we got about 10 to 15 miles in, and we had a store stop, and I was checking my bike, and actually my front brake was rubbing. And the very first thing that came to my mind when I saw that was this. I've actually been doing mental imagery like we talked about last time with visualization and stuff like that, with my cycling. And then not just that, but I'm also depositing in my brain account positive thoughts and stuff like that. So what I mean is this. I've been putting in my brain account, adversity is my advantage. I've been saying it over and over again. Adversity is my advantage. I can go for the next 20 seconds. And then, like when I'm training, for example, and I'm going through, and I'm doing Sufferfest on my bike, and I'm hurting, I start thinking, this is easy. This is easy. The next 20 seconds. Okay. I'm verbalizing that over and over again. Adversity is my advantage. The next 20 seconds. And so I'm saying that. So then what happened was, as soon as we got back onto the bike, we started riding. We were doing a 40-mile bike ride. When we got done, okay, our average, we went from, at the store stop, we were averaging about 18.5 miles an hour. By the end, we averaged 20.4 miles an hour at the end of the 40 miles. What does that mean? That means our average was actually, for the next 30 miles, was over 21, 22 miles an hour. Because I kept tapping into those resources. I was tapping into my bank account, my brain account, so to speak. And that is what took me to the next level, pushing through. And, it actually made my cycling a lot easier, even though I was putting out more watts. And so it actually got me through and gave me a breakthrough instead of a breakdown. All right, guys. So now we're going to move to point number 2, train your dog. What in the world what has that got to do? So it's like this. If you get a brand new dog, that hasn't been trained, and you go, hey, dog, sit. The dog go look at you and be like, are you going to throw the ball? Or, what else you going to do? It has no clue. It's because you haven't trained your dog. And you've got to train the dog within you, so to speak, in order for it to get those withdrawals that I was talking about from your brain account. And so, Bo, take it away. And what does that mean for golf?
Yeah. So, guys, what we want to do, we want to kind of take you first through an exercise. And I want to have you go through this exercise where on the left side, we're going to make a T chart. And on the left side, we're going to write negative thoughts, negative phrases that you guys see all the time when you're out on the course. So here's some examples. You slice it in the woods and you go, I suck. I can't believe I sliced it again. Or, dang it, here's that hole. I always hit in the water on this hole. It's these phrases that we say to ourselves over and over and over again that you'll catch. And sometimes you don't necessarily pay attention to it. And you need to kind of sometimes like do some deep thought here, but you'll start seeing there's some patterns here. And I want you to start writing these things down. So on the left side of the column, write down everything that you have said while you've been playing the game that's negative. All right. Now here's what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do on the right side. We'll write down everything that is true about ourselves. So for an example, you hit a slice in the woods. Okay, that's true. You did that. But have you ever hit a drive that you hit extremely well and you did very well, maybe even hit a draw before? Okay. And it was like your longest drive ever. Well, here's the thing. If you've done that, then that's also true. But we're going to lean into that because here's the thing, what Shannon shared in the first point, negative can be 4 to 7 times more powerful than positive, which is like 10. Okay. We want to lean more into the positive. So what we're going to do is lean in onto what was true. Well, if you hit a great drive and you hit it with a draw, then guess what? That's a true statement. Hey, I am a great driver. I can place this ball in the fairway wherever I choose. Okay. Now let's go for an example. Let's talk about putting. One of the big things we see all the time is, dang, I suck at short putts. I got the yips, right? Can't believe I missed that. So those are some things that can been maybe patterns or negative things that you've seen. But what are we going to put on the right side? Well, have you made a 5-footer before? The answer is yes, you have. Okay. So that's true. So what we're going to do is we're going to lean into that. Hey, I am a great putter. I can make all these putts as much as I want. You know, it's funny because Jack Nicklaus is famous for saying this quote. And I'll never forget in a press conference one time, someone asked Jack, like, you know, have you ever missed a putt? And he says, I've never missed a putt in my life, in my mind. Key is we want to lean into that type of thinking because that is what's going to propel you into ultimately tapping into your optimal performance. So I want to share a quick story, and this is why having these kind of thought processes is so critical. Where there was a guy named Will, I believe was his name, and he was a 50% shooter on the season in basketball. Now, the amazing thing is, it came down to the state championship. He had missed 21 shots, I believe, in a row. And it came down to one of the last shots, actually the last shot of the game. They had, I think, it was like a few seconds left. And he was like, Coach, give me the ball. And they had possession. So they designed a play, the inbound pass. He gets at the top of the screen, fires it, drains it. Now, after the game, everybody's like, that was amazing. That was so cool. How in the world did you do that? You know, you missed 21 shots in a row and you had the mental fortitude to pull that shot off. And his answer baffled him. He said, well, on the season, I'm a 50% shooter. So when I missed the first shot, I knew that my odds were greater for the next shot. And when I missed that shot, my odds were even greater for the following shot. And when I missed that, my odds were even greater for the following shot. By the time it finally got down to that last shot, the odds were so overwhelmingly in my favor at that point, that shot had to go in. Guys, that's a totally different mindset. He kept believing as he was missing. And because he had that shooter mindset, he was able to drain the game-winning shot. What do we do in putting and what do we do in golf? We'll hit one bad shot and we start dwelling on it and we start thinking about all the different things that we need to fix for the next shot. When in reality, we need to have that shooter mindset, keep trusting the process, and keep buying into what we know is true about ourselves. And that's why this exercise is so fantastic. We're going to create left side, all the negative phrases we say. Then on the right side, we're going to write down everything that is true about ourselves, because when those things happen, look, you're going to hit bad shots. Tiger Woods in his prime hit bad shots. But the key, and the one thing that we always remember about Tiger, after he hit a bad shot, he would hit one of the most miraculous and amazing recovery shots. Do you think he had that from a positive thinking mindset, or was it a negative side? I like to lean more toward the positive side. Okay. So that kind of leads into an incredible story I want to share really fast before we move into point number 3. One of our clients is part of our one-on-one programs that we do, and we work with clients all around the world, including tour players. And one of the amazing stories that we had that came out of our program was this guy named Lauren Matthews, and he was 79 years old at the time and pretty decent player, you know, about 9-10 handicap at the time for the program. And he goes through a program, and only about 2 weeks in, he really took to heart everything that we were teaching right here on the positive side. But there was other things that he was using about in the zone principles and all that. But one of the big things that really changed the game was, in addition to that, was what we're teaching here with the positive side and having power talk is what we call it. Guys, he shot a 69 at 79 years old, and it was the first time that he had shot in the 60s since he was a kid. And he attributed that to a big chunk of this using the power talk. And that's what propelled him around the course. So we can't stress this enough. This is extremely important. And again, make sure you do this exercise. Now, guys, if you are enjoying this content, please make sure you subscribe, like this video, comment below. We really want to make sure that we engage with you and answer any question you may have. Look, we're here to support you on your journey. We're serious about helping you shoot your new lifetime around. So again, make sure you subscribe, like this video, comment below. And with that said, I'll keep you in the loop for all of the new content that we publish throughout this channel.
So guys, now we're going to get into point number 3. And point number 3 is it's like chopping down a tree, taking an axe. And now here's the thing. So if you've ever chopped down a tree, if it's a small tree, even then you're more than likely not going to be able to chop it down in one swing, right? And so we think that because we've done power talk, mental reps, we've done it once, maybe we've done it twice. But here's the thing, the tree's still there and you're just hacking and you've only got one chop, two chops. And what do I mean by that? So you got to get in these mental reps in there for it to actually start impacting your life and impacting your game even more. So it's kind of like this. It's like you're going to the gym and you're working out. The more you work out, the fitter you get, right? And so that is what you're doing. It's like you got to take that axe to the tree in there. And so just kind of a caveat to that, you can't wish your way out of something that you have behaved yourself into. If this is a behavior that you're having to change, sometimes it's not just going to change overnight. You got to work on it. You got to press into it, lean into it, and start swinging that axe of that power talk. And so then, like, let's say, like with the example that Bo gave, like you come up to this particular hole that you always hit in the water. Okay, what's going to happen is that thought process that you have actually got in a habit loop of thinking about going into that, it's going to have less impact on you. And then the next time you get there, it's going to have less impact on you. And then and then all of a sudden it's going to have zero impact on you. And then your mindset's totally changed to where you're embracing, man, I love this hole because it's challenging and I always perform at my greatest level. Right. And that's the other thing I want to remind you of when it comes to your training. It's that you don't rise to the occasion. Or no, stick with me on this. You don't rise to the occasion. You sink to your training. Right. And so if you haven't been training the dog within you, how can you lean on something and move into that? So that is what I mean is by axing the tree, you're in there. And so what I mean is this, it's the unshakable belief in your process and the relentless pursuit of it. You have to pursue this relentlessly, okay? And then you're going to start seeing the effects, your mindset in the game when anything is coming up in there. You heard me talk about adversity is my advantage, okay? You might be going out and you're playing, and then let's say about halfway through the round, and it may start sprinkling. Rain. Adversity is my advantage. Boom. You're nailing it. And all of a sudden, you're actually playing better golf and it's slightly raining. That's what I'm talking about. Embrace the process, embrace the power talk, and it'll take you to that next level and help you getting into the zone more often and get into that flow state more often. And with that being said, Bo, you got anything?
Yeah, Shannon, that was really good. Just to kind of recap all this, number one, guys, we have to make sure that we are making those deposits into our brain account because we can't expect to go out there and just speak positive words and really have any kind of effect. That's why what you're doing right now is not going to work. Then, number two, we have to train that dog within us, and we have to do so by literally writing down, using that T-chart exercise, writing down all the negative things, writing down all the positive things that we can combat and speak what is actually true about our games. Then point number three is really just taking that axe and just chopping away at that tree. As more as we get around just doing those reps and doing mental reps along that, that's going to get you into that position where you really start seeing the results transpire out on the course. So guys, hope you really enjoyed this video. And again, if you would like to experience our coaching and get more of that one-on-one attention and coaching from us, right now we've helped over 300 clients drop an average of 6.8 shots in 90 days or less. That's including some of our tour players in that data as well. Actually, all of our tour players in that data as well. And if you're like, yes, I want to do that, we're going to invite you to just go to this link that we're going to post below. It's just going to ask you to fill out a few questions so we can get a deeper understanding like what's going on in your game. And then more importantly, you're going to be able to jump on a free call with us. And this will give us a chance to really kind of do like a doctor does. And we're going to do deep dive into game, find out if this is something that truly can be beneficial to you. And, sometimes it might be we're just introducing you to one of our colleagues. I have a pretty expansive network and I'll make an introduction if you have to. No matter what, just by jumping on a call with us, we'll make sure that you get the help that you need. So make sure you take advantage of that. Be sure to jump on that link, fill fill out this question, schedule your call, and we'll look forward to speaking with you soon. That said, guys, have a great one.